front of the 50th Ward office of Deborah Silverstein. We're here live with Emma and I. We're here to talk regulations with the big people. So, we arrived at the Alderman's office to go and talk a couple words about our wonderful regulations and how it's such a bad plan for Chicago and that LYFT might pull out of Chicago. Well, what do we see when we get here? It's all dark inside. Completely dark. It's kind of hard to see, probably. But completely dark inside. Back office has the light on. And we have something else in the back we need to show you, too.
Let's start with a little bit of background. I actually brought all sorts of data. This is my laptop. I've got things I wanted to talk to her about. And I'm a constituent in this neighborhood, so is Brandon. And she is our alderperson. So the way the city of Chicago works is the voters vote for the alderperson sets the rule with the council, and that's how our government runs here in Chicago. The problem is when you don't have access to your representative. We came here today because it's listed in her website, or her email blast, that this is the time that she can talk to me. So we came. We wanted to talk to her. What we found was that her office is closed. The office hours posted are entirely different from what she sends out in her email blast. So even though we have legitimate concerns as residents of the ward, we don't have access to her. And this is really important because what they're proposing is about the safety of Chicago. And we are very invested in the safety of Chicago for both our selves as drivers and our passengers that we care very much about. So I wanted to come and talk to her about that because we see some things in the regulations that are coming up that aren't about safety at all. Let's take a walk to the back.
Shall we?
Yep. Yeah, how are we doing this?
We'll be this, okay.
I'll be over your shoulder.
Sounds good.
I'll be over your shoulder. Okay, so if this ordinance is about safety, let's talk about the test we have to take. The test we have to take is all about hotel addresses. I don't see how that plays into safety. I understand the fingerprinting, and there's two modes of thought that the fingerprinting is good or bad. That's debatable. But the other thing I want to talk about is I did some research today on what it takes to get to that test. Now, that test is offered at one school 4 times a month. The class is offered 4 times a month. That's 4 days, 1 teacher, 30 people. So if you do the math, that's 120 people can take it a month. You're looking at less than 1,500 people per year could actually get through the process with the way it's structured now. I don't see how that improves Chicago's safety at all. If you had us take things about domestic dispute intervention, that would be about safety. If you had us talk about how to get to the hospitals, that would be about safety. But what they're having us do is limiting, we need to get the sun.
Yep.
What they're having us do is limiting the availability of drivers on the road to such an extreme that the passengers won't have us at all. Now, I know from personal experience, my passengers come to me and they say, we don't want to take a cab because we don't know who they are. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know that they actually match the photo that's breezed over on their dash, and we can't even see the photo because the plastic is so warped. So these things all affect, and many others, all affect how our passengers feel about their safety. We could go at length on all that. We can argue about all that. But what I want to bring back to is if this is a safety issue, why can't I talk to my alderperson? Why can't Brandon talk to his alderperson? And why is this what's outside our alderperson's back door? There was another one here earlier. I'm going to post in the comments both of their medallion numbers because they have access to an alderperson and we don't. And that's not how Chicago is supposed to operate. And what we want you to do is download this, do whatever you want to do, capture it however you want, take it to Twitter, take it to Reddit, take it to Facebook, take it wherever you can, tag everybody you can. Deborah Silverstein is the alderperson that is one of the 30 some odd alder people sponsoring this bill, but will not listen to both sides of the story. And I bet somebody out there can investigate where she gets her finances from.
Not to mention, if I might bring something out there, we had a wonderful amount of research done by Julie, member of our group. Julianne is always posting in here. She mentioned how many different how many times it would take, or how much money, how much money it would take in police resources to fingerprint everybody in the rideshare community. That would take tons of police dollars, our dollars that we're paying for. And not just that, but how long would it take to fingerprint all of us drivers?
And by all of us, in council meeting 2 Wednesdays ago, they said there are 90,000 drivers registered with the city of Chicago. Maybe we're not all active, but if you think of that number and 12,000 drivers that are registered for taxis, you know exactly where the passengers want to spend their time.
Guys, we really want to make this known to you, show you guys that we are out here doing our thing, because like you guys, we love rideshare and we love being able to give everybody a safe ride home. Keep in mind, with taxis, you don't know who you're getting in with, you don't know what you're getting into. With a Lyft or an Uber, either which way, you know who your driver is, you know what car you're getting into, the license plate number. Plus, we're talking about we are all background checked already by our companies. Do we really need this extra step? Do we have to go through this hassle and see this by our alderman's office and see that we're not being heard from our side as well? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. But guys, thank you very much for listening, and thank you for being here with us.
We'll get this done.
Let's do it. Take care, guys.